friend of me, any me. All these niggas just want to be a mini me.
Hey everyone, in this episode, we're going to be going over how to create full screen graphics in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now let's go ahead and hop right into Adobe Premiere Pro. And one of the things that I want to do, let's say we want to make kind of an ending title card or something like that for a video. So instead of this "thanks for watching" being over just a random shot of a sunset that I took, we want it to be over kind of its own blank screen or something like that. Well, this is really simple. You can click and drag that text around on your screen until it is where you want it. Let's say there at the end of the video, and boom, it's on its own kind of black background. It's kind of boring, nothing really all that sexy about it. So what we want to do, let's turn these safe margins off for just a sec. We want to spruce this up a little bit, and there's a few ways that we can do that. Now we can do it, number one, in the actual title tool. So let's go up here to our Effect Controls panel, and we're going to find that title tool that we used in the previous tutorial when we were actually modifying the text. Now, we could have a drop shadow. One of the other things that you could do is you could give this a background. So let's say we want this to have a red background. That's okay, but it's also not as big as the whole screen. So what you can do is we can actually go in here and adjust this so it fills this whole screen, and we can adjust the stuff. One of the problems that I have with this is that, unless your font is pretty large already, this isn't actually going to fill the whole screen. We could get it to do that. Let's say if we modified some of the lines or something like that. But this is one way that you could do it based on how big your text is. It's not going to work for every circumstance. But the way I would recommend us doing it is, let's hide this so we don't have a bunch of stuff popping open, is we want to go up to File, New, and then we want to go up to Color Matte. And this is going to give us just a blank color that we can work with. And it's just going to ask us what we want to call it. We can click OK. And then we can go in and say, hey, we want this to be green or blue or red or whatever you've got. And this is a really nice way if you've got, maybe some branded colors. You could go up in here and type in, the hex code or something like that. If you're working with a client, they have some very specific brand colors. You can click OK. And let's just call this blue, BG for background. That's my really fancy abbreviation skill set that I went to college for. And so this is, as with almost everything else, this is going to populate itself up here in the project, kind of where all the files live. So you can see, you can click and drag this down onto the timeline, just like we would anything else. And as we play through this video, you're going to see, well, it's over our text, so that's not going to work. Let's arrange this a little bit. Let's drag the blue below the text in our timeline, drag our text back above it. Again, remember, these video layers are layers, so the top layer is going to be the most visible. We had it earlier where the blue was. So let's say we just kind of leave this. Thanks for watching. Nice, really basic. There's nothing wrong with this. This would work, and you can adjust this however you want. You can make this different colors. So let's say that we get this and we go, oh, you know what? That is a really nice blue, but I want to change it just a little bit. Well, pretty simple. You can actually go in here into the background. If you click on it, you double click on it in the control panel, and you're going to be able to change this right there. Super simple. And it changes live in front of your eyes. So really, really easy to do. One of the other things you can do if you wanted to add some, some more spice to it, you could go down here. Let's going to type in ramp. And I don't know why this is called ramp, but this is going to create a gradient effect. You can see it's created a gradient from black to white there on our screen. This is not as, fun as we would want it. So we can go to radial ramp. We can adjust where the start and end are, so how big and how crazy the ramp is. And we could say, oh, we actually want to do that blue as the beginning, and then we want maybe a darker gray or something like that for the exit. So you can see it's going to get kind of a vignette effect. So there we go. We've got that. Then you can see now that it fades from a darker blue in the corners to a lighter blue in the middle, and it gives us just a little bit more depth. So it's another way that you could adjust this on the fly. And again, you can turn that off, see the original one. Really, really simple, really easy to do. Now, one of the other things that I really like to do, let's say that we like this sunset shot a lot that we had earlier, but we didn't want the text just over that. Well, we could actually add a background color to the text that would maybe play over this, but we can't see through that right now. We could go up here into the opacity and we could drop that down a little bit, and it's going to give everything kind of a bluish hue. You can also adjust these background colors, these mattes, these colored mattes that we've got. You could do lighten, you could do like overlay, things like that. And it's going to create kind of a different effect based on the blend layer, the blend mode that you've got down there in your timeline. So you can see what that does when we've got it off, and then what it does when we've got it on. It kind of brings out some of those blues a little bit more. So just a few ways that you can create full screen graphics there in Adobe Premiere Pro. Again, a really, really simple way to add in something maybe at the beginning or the end or the middle of your project if you need some stats, a thank you, or some logos or something like that on screen. Really simple. So thank you for sticking around and watching this tutorial, and we'll see you in the next episode.